online classes, and in this session and we are studying about a seed. And as we all know that a seed is a result of sexual reproduction. And even we know the structure of an ovule. An ovule is consisting of chalaza, micropyle, nucellus, integuments, embryo sac, isn't it? And all these parts also helps in the formation of particular structures in the seed. We can discuss in detail about the seed here. You can see the types: non-albuminous seed, albuminous seed and perisperm. And what is a non-albuminous seed? Every seed, it retains certain amount of endosperm as a reserve food material, and it helps during the development of embryo. But what happens when this embryo, it completely consumes before the development, and such seeds we can call as that albuminous seed. And where certain amount of endosperm is retained along with the embryo, so such means they do not completely consume certain amount of endosperm it retains, and such seeds are nothing but albuminous seed. So you can give an example here. The non-albuminous seeds are nothing but pea and groundnut. So here wheat, maize, barley, castor, sunflower are the best example for the albuminous seeds. Then what is perisperm? So it is important for 1 mark for your exams. Perisperm is nothing but in certain embryos, the nucellus, it may be consumed before germination, but the ruminant of nucellus which is persistent along with the embryo sac, and such seeds can be called as a perisperm. Okay, and you can see an example of the perisperm: black pepper, and in beetroot you can see the perisperm condition. And here I told you already well in advance, that is certain structures of the ovule, it helps in the formation of certain particular structures. So here are the integuments. As we see in a ovule, that outer integument and inner integuments are there, and these integuments, they help in the formation of layers in seeds like testa and tegmen. Testa is our outermost layer, and it is very hard and protective in function, and tegmen is the inner layer. Next one is that seed dormancy. What is seed dormancy? Seed dormancy is nothing but, I told you that these integuments, they are helps in the protection of a seed. The seed, when it enters a state of inactive period, that was state of inactivity. And the seed, when it enters the state of inactivity, it is nothing but we can call as a seed dormancy, and it is also can be defined as resting period of seed is called a seed dormancy antanu kariteve. What is seed dormancy exactly? It is simple. ಯಾವಾಗ unfavorable conditions ಗಳಿರುತ್ತೋ, so means unavailability of water ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರಿಷನ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಯಾವಾಗ unfavorable conditions ಇರುತ್ತೋ ಆ ಟೈಮಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, seed it undergo the dormancy, so it do not become inactive. ಬಟ್ ಯಾವಾಗ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಫೇವರಬಲ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ಸ್ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ, ಆ ಫೇವರಬಲ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ಸ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಬೇಕಾದ ಪೂರಕವಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರಿಷನ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ನೀರಾಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಯಾವಾಗ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೋ ಆವಾಗ ಆ ಸೀಡ್ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಇಟ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಟು ಜರ್ಮಿನೇಟ್, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ಅ ಫೇವರಬಲ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ಸ್. ಈ ಫೇವರಬಲ್ ಮತ್ತು ಅನ್ಫೇವರಬಲ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ನಾನು ಏನು ಹೇಳಿದೆ, ಫೇವರಬಲ್ ಅನ್ಫೇವರಬಲ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ಸ್ ನಡುವೆ ಏನು ಗ್ಯಾಪ್ ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಈ ಟೈಮ್ ಪೀರಿಯಡ್ಗೆ ನಾವೇನಂತ ಕರಿಬೋದು, ಸೀಡ್ ಡಾರ್ಮೆನ್ಸಿ ಅಂತ ಕರಿಬೋದು. ಈ ಪೀರಿಯಡ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಆ ಸೀಡ್ ತನ್ನನ್ನು ತಾನು ಕಾಪಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ತನ್ನನ್ನು ತಾನು ಕಾಪಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಕ್ಕೆ ಅದರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಎಂಡೋಸ್ಪರ್ಮ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಇಟ್ ಆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಎಸ್ ಎ ರಿಸರ್ವ್ ಫುಡ್ ಮಟೀರಿಯಲ್, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ವೆನ್ ದ ಫೇವರಬಲ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅವೈಲಬಲ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಇಟ್ ಸಪೋರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ದಿ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇನ್ ಟು ಎನ್ ಎಂಬ್ರಿಯೋ. We are studying about efforts, and as we all know, after fertilization in ovule, next to that all other accessory parts, they will be degenerate and they fall off. and ovary it develops into a fruit. Where what are these types of fruits? A true fruits and false fruits. A true fruit is nothing but the fruit which are developed by the only ovary, and such fruits are used to call as a true fruits. And the fruits which are developed by any accessory parts of the flower, like example, accessory parts excluding ovary, petals sepals thalamus flower ovary ಯಾವುದೇ ಭಾಗದಿಂದ fruit formation ಆದರೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವೇನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ a false fruit ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. Here also you can give an example here, apple, strawberry, cashew. I have taken an example here. In the center part of the fruit you can see the formation of seeds. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು true fruit ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. So the edible part of the apple which is there, that is developed by thalamus, hence we are calling it as a false fruit. And even there is another type of fruit. Do you know that which one? It is nothing but a parthenocarpic fruits. What are parthenocarpic fruits? Parthenocarpic fruits are nothing but the fruits which are developed without fertilization. So out now we used to call as a parthenocarpic fruits. And parthenocarpic fruits that are developed by using hormones. What kind of hormones they used to use to produce seedless fruits? That is nothing but auxin and gibberellins are most commonly used hormones to produce seedless fruits. Okay, the seeds which are formed or developed without fertilization, it is nothing but a parthenocarpic fruits ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ನಿಮಗೆ ಟೈಪ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆನ್ಯುವಲ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ಸ್ ಕೇಳಬಹುದು. ಗಿವ್ ಅನ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಫಾರ್ ಫಾಲ್ಸ್ ಫ್ರೂಟ್ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಬಹುದು, ಅಥವಾ ವಾಟ್ ಆರ್ ಪಾರ್ಥೆನೋಕಾರ್ಪಿಕ್ ಫ್ರೂಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಬಹುದು. ಗಿವ್ ಅನ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಫಾರ್ ಪಾರ್ಥೆನೋಕಾರ್ಪಿಕ್ ಫ್ರೂಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಬಹುದು. ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಕಾನ್ಸಂಟ್ರೇಟ್ ಆನ್ ದೀಸ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್. Here we are discussing that apomixis and polyembryony. Apomixis and polyembryony. What does it mean of apomixis? As we know that the seeds are a result of sexual reproduction. But in case of apomixis, what happens? Like an example, you can take that Asteraceae and grass I have written here. And in these species, what happens? Where diploid egg cell, it formed without reduction division, without meiosis, without reduction division, and they develops into an embryo without fertilization. Andre the seeds which are formed without fertilization is called apomixis. I hope you understood why it forms. And examples for the apomixis is Asteraceae and grasses can be given. Okay. And in some cases you can see the structure of ovule. Okay, because I have written this diagram to explain the polyembryonic condition. The poly is nothing but what? A many. Embryo means, means more than one embryo. Presence or occurrence of more than one embryo in a seed. Okay, try to understand. Occurrence of more than one embryo in a seed is called a polyembryonic condition in the curriculum. ಅಂದರೆ ಒಂದು ಸೀಡ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಒಂದು ಎಂಬ್ರಿಯೋ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಆದರೆ ಒಂದು ಸೀಡ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಒಂದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಎಂಬ್ರಿಯೋಸ್ಗಳಿದ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಪಾಲಿಎಂಬ್ರಿಯೋನಿಕ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಹೇಗಿದು ಪಾಲಿಎಂಬ್ರಿಯೋನಿಕ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಪಾಸಿಬಲ್ ಆಗೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ? ಸೊ ಅಪೋಮಿಕ್ಟಿಕ್ ಸೀಡ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂಥ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರೊಬ್ಯಾಬಿಲಿಟಿಗಳನ್ನ ನಾವು ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. ಲೆಟ್ ಅಸ್ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಹಿಯರ್. ಐ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ರಿಟನ್ ಸಮ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್. ಎ ಕ್ಲೀವೇಜ್ ಆಫ್ zygote. A cleavage of zygote, it produces more than one unit, and also it causes the formation of more than one embryo. Example we can see here, pilus and arcade. So here adventive embryony anta bartide. So around the embryo sac there will be a nucellus and integuments, and they too develops embryos which are protruding into the embryo, and the embryos which are formed by these nucellus and integuments we can be called as adventive embryos. and the process which forms it is called adventive embryony anta kareeತಾರೆ. And next you can see that embryo sac of ovule gives rise to many ovules. It's nothing but in certain species like citrus fruits ನೀವು ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಆಗಿ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಆರೆಂಜ್ ಅಥವಾ ಲೆಮನ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ತಗೋಬಹುದು. ಈ ಫ್ರೂಟ್ಸ್ ಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆ ಎಂಬ್ರಿಯೋ ಸುತ್ತುವರೆದು ಏನಿರುತ್ತೆ ದೇರ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಎ ನ್ಯೂಸೆಲಸ್. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ಎ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಏನಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಎ ನ್ಯೂಸೆಲಸ್. And where the nucellus it also start to produce an embryos, and these embryos they protrude within this embryo. Means ಈ ಎಂಬ್ರಿಯೋ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಡೆವಲಪ್ ಆದಾಗ ಏನಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಈ ಎಂಬ್ರಿಯೋದೊಳಗಡೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಸೀಡ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಏನಿರುತ್ತೆ ಮೋರ್ ದನ್ ಒನ್ ಎಂಬ್ರಿಯೋ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ದ ನ್ಯೂಸೆಲ್ಲಸ್ ವಿಚ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ಸ್ ದಿ embryos that are protruding in this embryo. That is what we used to call as presence of or occurrence of more than one embryo in a seed. That is called polyembryony condition ಅಂತ ಕರೀತೀವಿ. Okay, and this is the best example. So most of the citrus fruits ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಈ embryony ಅಥವಾ ಸಾರಿ polyembryony conditions ಅನ್ನು ನೋಡ್ತೀವಿ. And hybrid varieties of some food and some vegetables have been extensively cultivated. And this cultivation of hybrids, it increases tremendously in the productivity. There is no issues. But one of the major problem is that production of hybrid seeds every year. We need to be produced every year. And when we sow a seed, it may segregate in a progeny and it do not maintain the characters in the next generation. That is the reason the production of hybrid seeds is very costly process. And that is the purpose the seeds are very expensive for the farmers. And very best and easy method is that polyembryony that helps in the plant breeding process. And where we have studied here that where the synergid cells and antipodal cells they are also involved in the producing embryos where the haploid embryos are the correct. And these haploid embryos are used to raise the homozygous diploids, and where that adventive embryony is also used to produce a uniform genetic crops. That is the reason a polyembryony is a best method, and several experiments is going on this technology to produce seeds by using a method of polyembryony condition. So today I am stopping this session here because the chapter is over, and whatever the doubts do you get, please mail me, okay, or else you can drop your doubts at a comment section. Please subscribe my channel and post to your friends these videos. They can also get it, the benefit. Okay. Always keep remember, study for knowledge, not for marks. Okay. Take care. Bye.